All right, hello. It's about 9:30. Welcome to the weather update on another really warm day, February 13th, 2023. And you can see here that here is our low that is offshore right now. Look at that thing. It's an extra tropical low. It doesn't look too tropical in nature. You can see the moisture feed there. It brushed us last night with some rain. And we had some sunshine for a little, we had some sunshine today mixed with some clouds passing by. And then this is actually another little cold front that's coming through, I believe. And then we'll have this beautiful clear air. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky. That will be with us for tomorrow. So let's look at our satellite loop from today. And this kind of shows you the deal here again. You can see we had some clear skies for a little bit, and some cirrus moved in. And now we have this. This is the actual another like secondary front or something that's coming through, or something like that. Let's see how they have this mapped on the yeah. So there's the secondary front right there that's coming through because it will cool things off a little more tomorrow, bringing some drier air. It's pretty mild out right now outside. Let's go take a look at what's going on. And we've got a lot going on across the country, but let's focus on our area first. So here. We got, and it's very warm out there. Look at this. So there's a big difference in temperatures depending on where you are. There is a sea breeze across the east end of Long Island, and we did have a sea breeze on the south shore, but it looks like the sea breeze was eventually pushed out. But you can see Islip is still at 39 degrees. However, you'll notice Farmingdale is at 50. The temperature's actually shot up, and you'll see why in a moment. So when we look at this here, you will see that the temperatures were actually cooler earlier on. So we did get into the mid-50s again with a westerly flow. You can see a northwest wind there. Then a sea breeze kicked in, dropped the temperatures down to the 40s by the evening, the south-southwest wind. But then the winds went back to the west again, and the temperatures are now rising again. And look at how far the dew points have dropped, though. So we are seeing some really dry, warm air across our area tonight. That is for sure. And you can see that difference right there in Farmingdale. Now, Islip still is in the 30s. They're still having a sea breeze, I guess 39 right now, though it's starting to shift over. Taking a look at the day at Islip, you can see, look at that. So it looks like it was a lot cooler there. East, actually, was this like some kind of backdoor cold front that moved through or something out east? Because look at this, it's much cooler out there versus here. So west winds, and then the temperatures, it was like a backdoor front. That's what it must have been, like a backdoor front for the East End or something that kept things a lot cooler out there versus further west. That is for sure. So I guess we'll take a look at our high temperatures today, and I have a feeling that's where we're going to see these differences. So let's go look at the highs for the day. And so highs mid 50s, but as you go further east, you notice the East End upper 40s on the East End there on the Twin Forks. So mid 50s, and then 61 looks like in Newark, and around closer to 60 in New Jersey. But it's interesting to see this difference. That's for sure. Low temperatures probably not didn't get that low this morning. 30s. I'm surprised it got that low, but it did get into the mid 30s. And we'll look at the amount of rain we got for the overnight, the last night. So I'll take a look at the amount of rain we got. It probably wasn't all that much. That rain we got, it wasn't really too much. Quarter of an inch at most, more higher on the east end. Further west, you got even less. And over New Jersey, it's about a quarter of an inch. So we are below normal on the precipitation. I want to go to the Wonder Map, too, and look at some of these temperatures as well to show you what we got going on here. Because, again, there's a big difference in temperatures here. So you see here, look at Nassau County again. We're around 50 degrees with that west wind. It's pretty mild out there, but if you go out to Suffolk County, you have a southeast wind where temperatures are in the 30s and 40s. So a lot cooler out east than it is in Nassau County right now, which is very interesting. Now on the South Shore, it looks like there was a sea breeze on the South Shore, but it looks like the sea breeze did die off, and the winds went to the west. So we can take a look at this, like for instance, South Wantua, which is right now 49, but if we look at the graph for the temperatures here today, you'll see. Look at what wound up happening. So here's the temperatures. You can see it did get up into the mid-50s, and the sea breeze cooled things down by the evening in the 40s. But then as we got to around 7:30, the wind shifted to the west, and the temperature went back up to 50. But look at how the dew points have dropped. So it's like a little bit like a dry front there. Interesting. Very interesting to see that. Yeah, that is quite interesting to see. So we're going to see something similar with the North Wanto reading as well. So yeah, this is like more of like a springtime thing to have, but the way the weather's been lately. So there it is again. You can see there's almost near 60 in Wanto. Sea breeze came in, temperatures dropped, and you notice the curve upward in the dew point with the sea breeze. And then that with that dry front coming through, shifted the winds back to the west, dropped the dew points, and raised the temperatures. So that's pretty interesting right there to see that type of change. That's again something you see more of in the spring versus this time of the year. That's for sure. And right now they are still in the 40s out east, but this dry front is making its way from west to east. So at the east end, your temperatures are going to shoot up. Probably you're going to be it's chilly, but you're going to have like a bump up in temperatures. And you can see here how much warmer it is off to the west. For sure. We do have some activity on the radar as well, so let's go to the radar here, and you will see we have a couple of showers. These probably aren't reaching the ground over in New Jersey. This is the actual, I think, boundary here. And if we pull this out, if we look beyond that boundary, we should see colder area where it's in the 40s and 30s. So that's where it is. And again, if we look at our dew points, this kind of shows you again. Dew points are higher out east, drier off to the west. With the continental air. This is sea breeze air or some kind of backdoor front, and this is the drier continental air off to the west here that we're seeing. So, yeah, really interesting. And this also shows you the radar. Here it is. There are those showers. They're probably not even reaching the ground at this point. So showing you what the skies were like today. It was quite interesting, actually. We did have, again, some blue sky and then some altocumulus and cirrus, what it looked like there. And it made for some nice clouds as we got toward the evening here. Some pretty cirrus clouds in the sky here. Pretty nice cirrus clouds. Here's another one. Look at that. That's beautiful right there. So pretty nice, pretty beautiful clouds there. And looking at that, that's a little more toward the evening there, but very nice. Very nice. And then once we got after dark, we still have some of this altocumulus with a real mild feel out there, some passing altocumulus out there, but really, really mild. It's interesting how the temperatures have shot up tonight, but they will eventually drop. And again, this is the current radar here. Again, got a few light showers here, and it looks like they're saying multi-day severe weather event to threaten Gulf Coast to Great Lakes. We'll have to look at that as well. So we'll go to the Storm Prediction Center. Right now, it's not saying anything. Let's see, day 2. All right, we've got a marginal risk over here. What about day 3? All right, so day 3, that's when we start seeing a little more activity as this next storm system approaches. And we'll get to that when we get to the models, I guess. So, again, this is, looking at our setup right now. You can see this front is going to come through. That is about to come through. I don't know. They're getting like a downsloping effect from it. It's just making the temperature shoot up quite a bit. It's again very, very spring-like out there. The trees have buds and pretty sizable buds on them that I've never seen before. So it's just crazy. So let's go to the models now. No, let's actually. Did I close the weather and hazards map? I wanted to go back to that. All right, I got to go back to that now. All right. So you can see across the country here, we have looks like a lot of wind advisories in effect, and then out west. This is where we have our snowfalls, places like Flagstaff, the Rocky Mountains. They're going to be getting snow as another storm comes in to the northwest. So it looks like they're going to be getting some storms out there. And again, looking at our current map, I think I took it away. We'll just go to the models here, get things out. So here's that low pulling on out. High pressure is going to build in for tomorrow, giving us a nice sunny day, but very mild. And then that low this is the low here that's bringing the snow to the Great Lakes. Bringing the snow to the mountains there in the west as well as the Pacific Northwest. That thing is going to go right up into, look at how far left that goes. My gosh, it just shows you how strong the ridge is in the east. That's going to go way up there, and that's going to give us a real surge of some warm air as we get into Wednesday. You can see that high right there. And then here comes the next system here, next low pressure system, bringing us some rain chances for Thursday into Friday with a cold front coming through. And much colder weather for Saturday, but it will be brief. The high moves offshore, and we get back into that return flow again. And there comes the next. As we get in the next week, you'll see another front come through. And then we have another low that's going to track over. The model is doing some weird stuff with these lows, by the way. I don't know why it's doing that. Whatever the case is, it starts to bring down some cold air as we get toward the later part of the month. You'll see here some cold air. Don't get your hopes up. I have a feeling. Let's just go to the 12Z and see if that's even there. Yeah, it's not even there. So there you go. This is what I mean. There's a high amount of volatility here going on in this model. So this model here, you see here, oh, look at that. That's a beautiful plunge right there. But if we go to the 12Z, it's not there. So, when I saw this, I got excited. I'm like, ooh, good, maybe we'll get some Arctic air coming in. But just remember, it's one run that's showing this. So don't get too excited about it because, again, if we go and we look at the upper air pattern, we go to the upper air pattern here, jet heights here. You see there's a big ridge in the east. You know that. There are transitory troughs. But the issue is that we have troughing in this area over here, right? You want a ridge. Well, there is a little bit of a Greenland ridge there, but it's still helping to push the cold air. The cold air is transitory. And again, it's just, there's such volatility because the model wants to bring in winter. It wants to do it because climate's a lot. It goes and looks at the time of the year it is and say, hey, it's winter time. This is what should be happening. But it does its run-to-run volatility. So, like I said, don't get your hope. One thing I can tell you for certain is that this week is going to be way above normal with some record warmth. That's one thing I can tell you for certain. So let's go to the HRRR first here, and you'll see high builds in tomorrow. Should be a nice sunny day. They're very mild. And then as we get into Wednesday, it's trying to bring a slight chance of a light shower in with some kind of, it's almost like a warm front, I guess you could say. And you can see, look at that southwest, look at the orientation of those isobars. That's going to be southwest winds, and that means it's going to get very warm. So let's look at the dew points here. You can see the dew points are dropping tonight. We'll continue to have those lower dew points through tomorrow. Northwest winds, maybe a sea breeze developing by later in the evening. Perhaps there probably will be one. And then as we get into Wednesday, you see the winds go southerly and then southwesterly as we get into Thursday and bringing more warmer, more moist air into the picture. So looking at the temperatures here, tonight probably not going to drop all that much. Probably mid-30s if we're lucky. And then tomorrow, after starting a little bit of a chill in the morning, we're going to rise right into the mid-50s probably tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, well, if we have the clear skies, we can maybe get a little radiational cooling. If the winds drop back, it's right now saying mid-30s, but could be somewhat isolated colder areas that happens. And here we go into Wednesday. Near 70 in New Jersey on Wednesday. And I think the city could, I think they have a record, the all-time February warmest temperature in the city, I think is 72. It's possible we could break it. Fortunately for us on Long Island, there will be a sea breeze, and that will keep us cooler, generally in the mid-50s to around 60 for Wednesday. This is going to be quite a warm day here showing up on the HRRR for you. And if we want to go a little beyond that, then we got to go to the GFS, which I think is underestimating the warmth at this point. But we'll show you the dew points and wind flow here. So southerly flow continues. Here we are into Thursday. Southerly flow continues, and you can see that really warm air, moist air coming up. There's your front. Wants to bring it through sometime in the middle of the day on Friday, and then I'm thinking more toward the afternoon, which could actually cause a severe weather setup perhaps. And then as we go into Friday, you'll see the temperatures and dew points drop, northwest winds, and then we get a bit of that cold air on Saturday. This is just Canadian air. And then it lifts right back out on Sunday. There you go again with the southwest winds. So looking at our temperatures, as we go beyond, here we go into Thursday. GFS for some reason is keeping us cooler, perhaps because it's got some of those rain chances around. If you look over here, you'll see that it's showing rain chances, but it may very well be overdoing those rain chances. And then look at that warmth we're going to get. We're going to be very warm for the first part of Friday. Again, 60 is a good bet for a lot of locations. and then at least 60, and then we drop back through the 40s Friday afternoon and into the 20s Saturday morning, and then for Saturday we're going to have highs in the upper 30s for a change, which is closer to what it's supposed to be at this time of the year. But it's only one day, because once we're to Sunday, back into the mid 40s again, and then we set the cycle again for some more above normal warmth. But let's just keep going here, because there is, you see what, we just for fun, we can go into the long range and take a look and see that it's showing a couple of cold plunges here, including one around February 27th. All right, but just remember what I said. This is the 18Z run. Look at the 12Z run. All right, it is there on the 12Z run at least. So there is some consistency toward the end of the month that we may see a chance of winter coming back. That's all because of, if we go to the northern hemisphere, it all relates to the polar vortex. So if we go up here and we look at the, it's showing a split. So here we go. It's showing a split toward the end, and you can see it's splitting right there as we get toward the end of the month into March, and that could bring a chance for some colder weather. Whether it's going to be sustained or it's just going to be a quick blast or two, but there is definitely potential there. We're not done with the Arctic air yet, and I think the Arctic air will return. Even if it's just for a brief time, I think we will see some more of it. And it also brings us, you can see it also brings us some snowstorms as well, perhaps. Though this is highly unusual. When do you ever see a snow that looks like that? I mean, I don't know why it's doing that. It's just, to me, that doesn't make any sense at all. So, like I said, don't get too excited. So, back to our northeast area here, and let's go to the skies. I guess we'll do that. Do the skies. So, we roll this back here. That's Saturday. So, here we are. So, tomorrow should have a mostly sunny day. Clouds roll into the picture Wednesday, and the clouds will be with us on. There'll be high clouds Wednesday, junky sky. Thursday we'll see more of an overcast, and then Friday you can see the clouds, and then Saturday we should clear it out. Should have a mostly sunny day, and then have the next batch of clouds move in by Sunday, perhaps. Not going to go beyond that on this GFS sky forecast, which is highly variable. So let's go to the RGEM, and we'll look at the RGEM. So here's the RGEM. And you can see here, as we get into your Tuesday, see mostly sunny skies across the area, mostly sunny skies on Long Island. And you can see that nice mostly sunny skies. And then we have some clouds that will be coming in for Wednesday, high clouds. They'll be thick. And then by the afternoon, they might actually clear up, and we might have a period of some clear skies later on in the afternoon after 1, 2 o'clock. And then here comes some more cirrus for Thursday, though. Again, it actually doesn't look stick on this model, so I think the GFS might very well be overdoing things. All right, if we look at the NAM3, which will be our next model, which we can use here, we do have the 0Z NAM3 in. So this is the 0Z NAM3. You can see it only goes out to this far, though, so let me go to the NAM12. I just want to use this for the precipitation. All right, to show you that the chances for precipitation as we get into Thursday don't really look all that impressive right now. There's the icon as well, which we could use that too. You can see it not really showing that much precipitation here. Running this all through here and showing total rainfall here, total accumulated precip there. There's not much. So we're going to stay on the dry side. So the GFS is overplaying the rain. I don't know why it's doing that, but I don't really see that we're going to get that much rain. So we'll just look at the icon and look at the icon for temperatures as well, which I know has a tendency to run a little colder here. But you can see the warmth for Wednesday and Thursday. I think Thursday is going to be pretty warm as well. And then Friday, still, we're going to have a couple of really warm days here. Potential for record-breaking warmth, I think, is definitely there as we deal with yet another blast of heat in the middle of February. It's absolutely crazy. And just to show you how above normal we're running, we're going to do this all the time here. Let's go here to the. It says temperatures will run 10 to 20 degrees, highs in the 60s expected in parts of the region, including NYC, both Wednesday and Thursday. Like I said, wouldn't rule out 70, especially if you're in New Jersey. All right, so go here, ice slip, and we'll go to the for the preliminary monthly climate data and just show you how above normal we're running here at Islip. So we are running about 3 degrees above normal for the month of so far. We've just started the month. We're already 3 degrees above normal. So we've already erased that. And if we go to the Central Park here, Central Park is running 3.4 degrees above normal. So I think we're going to be well above normal for February. We've already offset that little bit of that cold, that little Greenland blast that we had at the beginning of the month. We've offset that quite a bit. But it's just crazy, this warmth, and how it's just been so locked in and so persistent. And again, some of the models, I think a lot of them are underestimating just how warm it's going to get around here. I'm just curious what the NAM is doing with it. The NAM is, you can see it looks like Long Island will avoid it. We'll have a sea breeze, but if you're in Jersey, you're going to approach 70 degrees. I mean, it's crazy. Jersey especially, you got to be way ahead. You probably got to have flowers coming out of the ground by now, considering how warm it has been, especially over there. Just what a crazy year, crazy winter. And this is all, again, part of climate change. Yes, we can get cold weather. It doesn't mean we're never going to have a cold winter again, but it does mean more and more of these freakish patterns with these ridiculously warm winters will become more commonplace. But it doesn't mean we can't see this change and get some cold winter weather in, at least maybe in March. Maybe. But if things don't change by the beginning of March, then I think then all hope is lost for this winter, unfortunately, to have any winter weather at all whatsoever. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. And, of course, enjoy your Valentine's Day. At least it will be a nice, sunny Valentine's Day. Though I don't have any Well, I do have some Valentines that I'm going to spend time with. They're not cute and cuddly. They're more like green and prickly, but hey. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a good night.